It was a nice neighborhood, over on Illinois Street. As a matter of fact, this facility where you were taping was a supermarket, 7 to 11 supermarket. No, it was a standard supermarket, and then it became 7 to 11. On Illinois Street, and we had a movie and theater, grocery stores, drugstore, hardware, any number of small businesses, upholstery, a beauty supply house. It was a very nice neighborhood to live in. And we had a doctor's office over on 30th Street, 30th and Illinois. The Children's Museum was not as large as it is now. It was a smaller building. The museum purchased property around it and enlarged it. There was a library on the corner of 30th and Meridian. The museum bought that property, but subsequently they have opened up a library within the facility where they are now. And I sit on the board of the Children's Museum, and it was one of my constant conversations about a library that was never replaced in this community. Jeff Padgett, who is the CEO of the Children's Museum, is very educational oriented, and now we have a well-run, well-equipped children's library in the Children's Museum. The neighborhood, there were homes along Illinois Street where we have parking lots for Ivy Tech. People were very active in the school. I was PTA president at School 36, and we had PTA meetings. Parents came to the PTA meetings. They were active as homeroom mothers and active in the activities of the great school. But there was a lawsuit brought on by the NAACP, which subsequently helped integrate the neighborhood schools here. And our kids were bused out west to School 107 and 108 and other areas around the city, which was unfortunate as far as I'm concerned, because that was a time when politics was not a part of education. There were the superintendents, the principals, and the teachers who wanted to make sure that the kids were educated without a lot of friction. And as I indicated, parents were very interested in their children and took part in their children's education. They were advocates for their children. So, well, I'm very active in politics. I am a precinct committeeman, and that is the person who comes together with other precinct committee people around the city to vote on those individuals that they would like to see run for office. I am and have been a member of the Democratic State Committee. I'm presently vice chair of the Democratic State Committee, and I'm a member of the Democratic National Committee. One of the things that I am very proud of is I was the first superdelegate for Barack Obama when he ran for president in the state of Indiana. It's nice that I frequently get calls from the White House and from the staff about things that the president would want me to do. I am a person who's active in trying to keep the area as aesthetic as possible. I worked with Keep Indianapolis Beautiful a few weeks ago. We planted trees here in the 2900 block and worked with the museum to plant trees, and the museum does a great job of trying to improve the living conditions around here in the area, not only Highland vicinity, but also Mapleton, Fall Creek, Crown Hill, Highland, Historic Meridian Place, all of the neighborhood associations. The museum is an active partner, and it's nice to have a neighbor like that, because all businesses in the area, some of them, Ivy Tech is a partner with the neighborhood associations and attend our neighborhood meetings at the Children's Museum, which we have every other month. I am the co-chair of the neighborhood group, and we come together to discuss the things that the neighborhoods are doing, things that the neighborhood think they need. I was also on the committee for our quality of life plan. So I've tried to be not just a homeowner, but someone who's active in the community. The role model that my father and my mother provided me growing up. I grew up in West Virginia, which remains a very racist and closed-minded state, in my opinion. My sister still lives in West Virginia. She's a teacher in Charleston. She's the only family that I have left there. My father is deceased, as well as my mother. My mother, on May 17th, had been dead for 64 years. My mother died when I was 11 years old. But my mother was very active in our community, in our schools. She was president of the PTA, homeroom mother, bought cupcakes for the kids' birthdays in my room. There were 5 of us, but my mother lived to see 3 of us in school, in grade school. And my father was a minister and a pastor of a church. So my activities now was due to my parents as my role models, because they were always involved.